Greetings, viewers. This is A Vision Entertainment once again, and I am your host, Tommy Slaughter, and we are here with a special guest. She's an actress, model, and producer. Her name is Larissa Dali. She is quickly carving out a name for herself as one of the most versatile new talents in film. Known for her viral performance in the indie thriller Becky and her breakout role in Tyler Perry Studios. She's now captivating audiences again in the newly released psychological thriller Deadly Escape. And we have her now. We're going to hear her story. This is Larissa Dali. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm a lovely. Good morning.
Great, great, great. It is a pleasure because actually, I was on YouTube
hmm
and I watched the movie Becky maybe three times because I like the movie. So my wife and I sat and watched it. We had our popcorn, and it was beautiful. What inspired you to pursue a career in the entertainment industry, and how has the journey shaped your identity?
Oh, I love the way you poised that question. So entertainment's something I've always been drawn to. I've always been a storyteller since I was like really, really young. And I was one of those kids running around just trying to make people laugh. And I would dance around, do plays, all that kind of stuff. And any of my friends that wanted to do it with me, I'm like, let's go. Let's be creative. Let's have fun. So it's something that's been in my life for as long as I can remember.
Okay.
But how it's shaped my identity is beyond words. I have to tell you, it's this industry is so beautiful because it gives you insight into the lives of stories that you may never know, people that may never have spoken to, right? So I feel has made me very, very compassionate and
Mhm.
understanding and the I am such a human's human. I
Yeah.
love to talk about that because it's like it's this world where the more I do it, the more I feel I wear my heart on my sleeve, which sounds backwards, but it's because it's becoming these different people, I become more of myself and like I understand the depth of which we could go, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. At what age have this started for you? Like, when did you actually started thinking about acting?
Acting specifically, I was 14. I did a little theater before that in junior high school, but then
Okay.
like I wanted to do film and television at 14. I remember specifically because I begged my mom and
Oh,
she said,
yeah.
"No, you're gonna wait until you're an adult and
Uh,
like make sure that's what you want." So,
wow. Well, in the film Becky, like we just talked
mhm.
about, which is on YouTube, is everywhere. I'm guessing, right? It's not just
Uh-huh.
YouTube. It's all
Yeah, I
over.
believe it's on Tubi and Amazon Prime if I'm not
Amazon.
mistaken.
Okay, in the film Becky, you played a twisted and dangerous character. What was it like preparing for such an intense role?
Oh, you know, it was a lot of fun. I like to talk about this because as the villain, you don't know you're the villain, right? Everything you do is justified. So you're just another person walking around not understanding why you're being looked at the way you are because you're like, I don't understand. I'm just doing what needs to be done. It's like everything is justified. So you're not crazy. Everybody
Yeah,
else is crazy, right?
you're
So it
not.
was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
normal. This is normal. This is how you take care of things. So it was fun to kind of flip that mentality and be like, no, like I get through. Becky gets by and she thrives. So
That's
it's
right. That's right.
right? So it was a lot of fun to be able to do that because it's so not me and it's so not I hope most people, right? You don't want to interact with a actual psychotic killer.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. But you know what was I would like to know your reaction when they first brought you the script and asked you to play that role. What was the first thing you thought about when you saw the script?
Well, I honestly got excited. I was like, okay, because I think it was like my first time
Okay.
getting to play.
Okay.
uh,
Yeah, yeah.
you
That
know,
type of
I was,
yeah.
it was, yeah, it was exciting to be able to be like, okay, I could do a lot with this. I
Okay.
had played kind of other roles, but it was much more like, like vampire. It was horror, so it's
Yeah,
kind of
horror.
like okay, this is like a make-believe character.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it was she was layered but still real. Like I was like, this woman exists out here, and I hope she's in
Yeah,
prison.
it's the
But you
truth.
know,
Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah.
definitely the truth.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's based on. For me, I thought it was based on a true story, but then I had to think maybe so because there's a lot of they I guess they call them Karens, just women, period, that go through those mental health issues, and it
Mhm.
is they're out there, you know.
Mhm.
But you did an amazing job. You
Thank
did.
you. Thank
Yep.
you.
Now you're directing and starring in your own limited series, Linda. What can you tell us about that project and what inspired you to take on both roles?
Actually, my partner Ian Haywood, he was the one that really pushed me to, he co-directed it with me. He helped with story, but he pushed me to star in it. So I
Okay.
ended up writing the script, I helped produce, I co-directed, and I starred in it. I didn't want to at first because I felt like it was too close to home, and I really just I was like, I can't play this role. I feel like it's one of those things where in another lifetime that could have been me. And so I ended up doing it, and I can't see anybody else doing it. It was super beautiful, cathartic, therapeutic for me to play. I had so much fun. That was a very deep and complex character as well. So Linda's a baddie. She's
Wow. Are you finished filming, Linda? Or are you still in the
we
make?
are we are in the process of like the editing process right now.
Okay.
But we have a few options. We might raise more funding to do like a longer pilot, or we
Okay.
might do it as is, but we haven't really decided yet. We have people that are interested in potentially helping it grow. So we'll see where it goes. But we're in the editing process right now.
Okay, yeah. So it'll be out real soon,
Yeah.
basically.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
I have another question about Tubi and those streaming, Amazon Prime. How do you actually I don't want to say get paid, but is it like a business partnership when you finish a movie? Do you send it to them or your people send it to them? And how do that happen? Like as far as like let's say the financial part of it or the business part. How does that work out?
So, as an actress, it's a little bit different. If you're involved in like the production side of things, you could get points on the film, and so
Okay,
you get,
points.
you get points on it, and
Okay,
depending on your level of involvement. But
okay,
as like this being like Linda, for example, if we go to streaming, whatever we decide to do, there's multiple ways to do it. Like there could be a partnership, it could be like a straight sale. So
okay,
I'm not too well versed in that. I'm still kind of learning all the ins and outs, but I
okay,
know that there's multiple avenues of how that can work.
okay, okay. So it's multiple ways.
Yeah, it's cool, which is
Wow.
which is great.
Wow, amazing. What is the difference between playing a character and creating one? As you are doing with your limited series, Linda, how does the emotional investment shift when a story is your own vision?
It has to, what I've learned is that like I had to stay very open minded to letting the character breathe. I couldn't hang on to any like little things. So
Okay,
it was really great having the support around me and having like the people in place knowing the story, like Ian, in and out. And so he helped it, I helped breathe life into it that maybe I didn't see from that angle. And so anything that I couldn't cling on to anything, right? Because it was like this, I'm playing her, but I'm also creating her. So it was really cool being able to have that open-mindedness and see where she went. So it was
okay,
just about like trusting my team, honestly.
oh, okay, okay. You have to trust in your team to move
Yes.
forward with it.
And
Wow.
myself.
Yeah, yourself. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Because you're the one starring in it. Will it be
Yeah.
A Becky too, or no?
Yes, there will.
Okay,
I
I got it out of it. So it will be a Becky too. All right, that's
yes.
cool. All right, that's cool. You've starred in several films
Mhm.
that can be described as intense thrillers, including Deadly Escape and Becky. What do you enjoy most about working in this genre, and what are some of the unique challenges?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think what I enjoy most about working in like the thriller genre is that it's really complex, right? So you could have a thriller there's comedic aspects, there's dramatic aspects, there's like a lot of twists and turns. It's cool. It could be a really rich plot. I love that. And then what was the second part of that question?
And what do you enjoy most about working in the drama?
Oh,
And what are some of the unique challenges?
oh, the challenges, the challenges. Oh, that's a great question. I feel like being able to balance it all, right? Um, not making it too out of this world. You want to make it relatable and real and portray that so anybody watching it doesn't get pulled out and you want to make people forget they're watching a movie. And that's my
Okay,
goal as like an actress and a writer and a creator. It's like, okay, I want this story to portray like somebody is watching a real life
a
happen.
real life
That's like,
happen.
yes.
Wow, wow. So you're actually stepping into that character. You you're removing yourself completely and you're going straight for this character. You want people to actually see it as this is real, like real life situation.
I do my best. I do the best I can for that. So yes, yes, that's the goal.
In this industry, people doesn't see the hard work. A lot of people watch things like the success part or when on the red carpet. But what is the greatest struggle you've had to overcome in your career and what did it teach you?
Oof. I've had to overcome quite a few. Career-wise, mostly it's learning, putting the people in place and the protections in place
Okay.
and not trusting everybody that tries to sell you something, right? At the beginning of this career, I was really, really eager and almost to the point of like desperation because I wanted it so bad. So I would take every opportunity, which taught me a lot. I learned a lot of lessons of, how things shouldn't be and how things shouldn't look and kind
Mhm.
of where my standards lie. And so
Okay.
it's grown from there. So I kind of have this basis in understanding what the professionalism and what, being on a lot of indie sets, they use SAG standards, which is the union standards, and working
Mhm.
on both and understanding that there is a level standard and things are put in place for a reason. So it was
Okay.
like kind of like a roller coaster to get there, but now I have this knowledge and it's beautiful because I feel I have, my agent, I have my management team that are there for anything I miss these days.
Mhm.
So it helps weed out the people that are there to aren't in my best interest, so to say.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's always good to have someone that's trustworthy, that's in your best interest, like you just mentioned.
Yes.
Well, what is the biggest change you would like to see for women working in the entertainment
Mm.
industry?
More of them. I want to see. So I've been very blessed to work with like female directors such as Lakeisha Lemons, who is a dear friend of mine.
Okay.
And I've seen women on crew and behind the camera, which is very rare. But Gracie, who works with Courtney Glaudet and the Old Grey Mare, she's a female DP, which is really, really cool. But I
Okay.
would like to see more, um, women run crews, just women led, I think. And it's coming. It's being integrated because it's still very much kind of a man's world, but you're seeing more and more women, which is really, really great. It's
Yeah,
really
you are.
great.
I think they kind of flooding the industry right now. It's a lot of women.
Let's go.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Is there anything that you consider a personal superpower that you've gained from your experiences in the industry?
A personal superpower. Yes, I am really, really good at body language. I could tell when somebody's off and I'm like, oh, are you okay? They're like, yeah, I'm fine. But
Oh,
it's like, and I'm like, no, maybe you're fine. But I was like, there's something, I'm really good at that. I'm very good at being able to and I can just read body language.
okay.
That's one of my superpowers from this. Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. So you can read body language really good, and you know when something is not right.
I
around
do.
with certain people.
I do.
Wow, especially being around an entourage, you kind of like, okay, well, let me stay away from this person, that person. You know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Wow, you've spoken about embracing all of the pieces of yourself, even the ones you may not want to. How does
Mm.
confronting these pieces of yourself inform the psychological depth of the more disturbed characters you play?
Ooh.
I'm
You
sorry.
know, oh, it's that's beautiful. Yeah, it's kind of like going into those dark parts or those shadow pieces of the things that we want to pack away and never look at, but integrating those, like, the intrusive thoughts or traumatic experience, whatever you want to label them, but being able to integrate those, look at those, and see them as part of humanity instead
Mhm.
of just writing them off because it isn't just roses and rainbows.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
really
Yeah.
helps make a full person, right?
Okay.
Kind of going back to that villain aspect. It's like they don't know they're a villain because they're still a human being. They're just on the darker side of things and giving that life and humanity because it's like pure evil is very, very rare, right? There's always that thing that gets somebody to this point
That's
that
right.
their story, their villain story. It's like, how do they become this? It's not I think it's very, very rare for someone to just be born like an innocent baby to be born pure evil, right? So it's like there's always that, like, where's that point? Where's that turning point, that switch? So it's like those shadow aspects I feel help integrate those pieces. And it's hard. It's super hard to do that. But the more I feel I have done that again, it makes for a better human and a better actress in me.
That's right. That's right. And it seems like you're striving and you're working hard, and it's like you sometimes you overwork because you have to get it's like you have to be perfect or get things right.
How do you know me so well? Who have you been talking to?
Just the things that I'm hearing is like you
Yeah.
have to get it done right. No matter how long on the set, you're going to get it right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're still in production with Crazy Clown.
Yeah, actually, I'm on set for that right now, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, my question was you're set to appear in the pre-production film Crazy Clown. What can you tell us about your character, Detective Erica Steele?
Oh, I love her. She's dynamic. In the last film, so this is a continuation, I am a completely different person. And my incident in the last film, the Omicron killer, is the turning point to the catalyst, like we were just speaking. I become
Okay.
a detective to kind of avenge my lover's, I don't want to give it away, but Avenge My Lover's Death. The movie's out. And so it's really cool the 180 and the integration of the pieces of Eric Castile from then until now, like 3 years later, right?
Mhm.
So I think she's tough, she's lost, she's obsessed, she's
Okay.
trying to find her old self with this dichotomy of who she is now.
Okay. So that is in pre-production. So it's coming soon. We have another one from you coming soon. Crazy Clown.
Yes. Yes, we're filming now, so you should see it. I think they were saying by next year, and they want to do a theatrical release. So, yeah, it's cool.
What other genre? Because I hear a lot of thriller and
Hmm.
and your work. Is there something you would like to do outside of thriller?
So yes, I've done a little bit of comedy, still on the like horror genre, but
Okay.
I've also done just like a straight kind of like dramedy that's not out yet. It's still in post. The
Okay.
Great Wall of Warren. I loved my character, but I would love to step more into my comedic side
Okay.
because it's it's so fun, but it's one of the hardest things to break into. So I keep talking about it because I'm gonna manifest it. I'm gonna manifest it. So,
You will.
yeah.
You'll get it done. I can tell. The determination, and you will. You'll get it done. You know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. In the podcast series, the Patrick Scott Patterson Project, you discuss chasing your dreams. What do you hope listeners take away from that conversation?
Oh, yes. Chasing your dreams, but also it's like don't let anybody be in your ear. Stay grateful, stay grounded, and stay determined because
Yeah,
you can have a vision in mind of what your dream may look like, but don't, the path is going to be completely different. So trust the process because you can get to your goal, but it might not be this straight line. You might
that's
have to
right.
go through the most obscure paths to get there.
Okay.
So, and that's, I feel, has been very much my journey where the detour leads here and I'm like, oh, okay, but then it pings me over here and then it's like a pinball machine. So I feel, if it's something you truly want, follow your heart
Mhm.
and you'll get there. Trust. Mhm.
Yeah, that's a guarantee. Were you ever a singer? Did you ever try singing?
I actually am a karaoke warrior. I love to
Oh,
sing. I
hey,
have
look,
sang I've sang in a movie before actually. Samuel Ali, we did Dangerous Decisions and I
okay.
sang on one of those tracks. I sang and I choreographed a dance, but I love singing. I am no Mariah, I'm no Ariana Grande,
But you
but
love singing,
I
just
can I can hold a note, right? I'm not like I can't hit those glass breaking.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
said, I'm a perfectionist, so I'm all right. I'm all right.
All right, well, that's cool. I mean, just keep going, and that's going to be your next mission, singing.
Yeah, maybe
Don't
yeah. Yeah, why not?
wow. Do it all. Don't stop.
Let's
Just everything.
go.
That's right. While playing a role with different characters, how much of your character's backstory is created from the script versus how much do you invent on your own? Because some people may add some ad libs, this and that. So how much is that?
Um, so it depends on the writer or the director I'm working with, and sometimes I can speak with them, especially if it's a writer director that's doing it. I could
Mhm.
speak with them and seeing like about the dialogue. Sometimes you need to keep it dialogue perfect, but as
Okay.
far as like backstory goes, um, I always pull from the writing. I don't ever normally pull from like my like real life experiences unless I'm doing my own personal writing. But yeah, so like anything I have ad-libbed before, I have changed things because
Mhm.
of working with people multiple times. They kind of trust that I really know the character. So it
Okay.
just depends on the project and the person.
Okay. So it all depends. Just
Yeah.
wow. And you've appeared in both features, a Gettysburg Christmas and TV
Uh-huh.
series, The Cleaning Lady. Is there a difference in your preparation process for film versus television?
Um, a little bit, yes, because so with film, so in my experience so far, I haven't had like a lengthy character on a TV show with film. It's been a little bit longer of a process, but I know once I get like that recurring role in a TV show, it's going to be the character development I feel would be even that much more rich because
Okay.
you have this, you get to kind of slow play it and build, where in a
Okay.
movie you have a shorter amount of time, if that makes any sense. So for
Okay.
me,
Short amount of
yeah,
time.
for me right now, it's flipped because I haven't had that lengthy process on a TV series. Like God giving, I can book a
Okay.
series that lasts 8 years. That would be great, That so that character development's beautiful because you
Mhm.
have such a longer process and you build a connection with your audience. It's
That's
so
right.
cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Who are your biggest supporters? And what I mean, your family. How did your family members talk to you about this business? Like your mother told you to be careful. How did all that play out with your family, you coming into the industry, with you coming
It
in?
all, it was interesting. So my family right now, I'm like not really close with a lot of them except for my siblings. I'm pretty close with,
Okay.
but my mom was always very encouraging of my my dreams, even if she like they weren't aligned with what she wanted for
Okay.
me. She was always very supportive. But I lost her when I was 21,
I'm
so
sorry to hear that.
it's okay. It's just it's been a little bit of a process with that, but I feel in turn it's really pushed me to make this happen, in her honor. So
Okay. Well, great, great. So now you really have something to push hard for.
Yeah.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. And being as though you do wear a lot of hats, how do you balance the different roles you play in your life? Actress, model, producer, and what have you learned from each?
Wow. Balancing how I balance is still a process. It's still a learning experience. I do a lot of I need to make sure I'm meditating, I'm eating properly, like simple things
Mhm.
that if I don't do, I will like lose myself, right? I'll lose my head. But going like something as simple as getting sunshine, going on walks, using the tools in my tool belts and like the modalities I have, breath work, whatever it may be. But what I've learned from each of them is, they are all specific skill sets, but there's a thread that pulls, that intertwines them all, which is really cool, right? So,
Okay.
like as a model, you're telling a story through a still frame. Whatever that story may be, it's you're trying to
Yeah.
convey that emotion through one still frame.
Okay.
Whereas in as an actress, that multiplies. And
Mhm.
so you can kind of pull from both and understand uh, and integrate like we
Okay.
were talking about before. And then with like production, you understand the other side of it, the ins and outs, how to uh, how to multitask, how
Gotcha.
to talk to people, and
Mhm.
how to make shit happen, if I can be blunt. So,
Okay.
and that can kind of, again, in turn, all connect because all these tools are useful for one another. So I think it's really cool to be able to pull from other inspiration from other things.
Oh, great. You explained that very, very well. You
Thank
know,
you.
wow, when you start doing this, I knew you was coming.
The strings, this,
That's
yes.
great. That's great. And also with Tyler Perry, how did that connection happen?
Actually, speaking of Lakeisha Lemons, I just landed back in the country. It was last year, and she called me and said, "Hey, I have an opportunity for you. I really want you to audition for this part. Let me know." And I said, "Yeah, that sounds great. I'm actually really sick right now." And she goes, "Look, this could be a really." I couldn't know too much, and then I got in touch with. She sent me the stuff through Courtney. I sent my audition in. I
Yeah.
got the part, and the rest is history. But yes, because I have, like you're talking about, beautiful support in my life, my angels, my guides looking out for me, and it was really really kind of her. Like people who have worked with me and have pushed me on to other beautiful things. The relationships really matter. The
Okay.
relationships really matter.
Wow. And have you actually had a chance to sit with him and talk with him, Tyler Perry, be around him?
No, I have not, not yet.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, as a producer, what do you believe is the most important element in bringing a story to life?
Ooh, communication
Wow, great.
and communication. Everyone needs to be on the same page, know what's going on, and communication, safety, comfortability as a producer.
Those three right there. Very
Uh-huh.
important. Wow. What projects are you most passionate about pursuing in the future and why?
Ooh, I'm really excited to work with Courtney Glaudet again. We're filming a feature in October. I think they might have already started. I'm not sure, but my part, I'm going in October, and then I'm actually really excited to get Linda. Everyone's hyped about Linda, so I'm excited to see
Yeah, that's right.
where that goes. And then, of course, the release of Becky too, that's coming up. I'm excited about as well.
Wow,
So,
wow. I hope all the best for you. I
thank
do.
you.
I have
Thank you.
two questions left.
Okay.
Uh, if you could collaborate with any artist, director, or writer, who would it be and what kind of project would you envision?
Oh, this is a great question. I really want. So my brain process is interesting. So at first it was like, okay. And it was a man. I go, no, I want to partner with, that would be great, collaborating with like a really strong female, like a Reese Witherspoon, and working on
Okay.
her production company and
Okay.
doing something um, where there's drama but comedic elements, right? Some very real, heartwarming, funny,
Yeah.
but like
Season.
gets to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's what I would want. That's cool. Oh, and now I'm like, I'm really envision. I'm like, what we could write? Because she likes to do book adaptations, so that would be
Okay.
cool. Yeah,
Wow. Are there a
yeah.
book coming from you soon?
Um, I
Um,
I do love writing,
mentioned
and
it.
I actually, yes, I'm working on a poetry book. It's how
Wow.
I envision it is like a series of three. The
Mhm.
first one, I want it to be called Metamorphoses. So the first one would be called As Is. So
Oh, okay.
we'll see. Yeah,
Metamorphosis.
we'll see
All right.
if I can get that done. But it's on the docket, and I have had uh, beautiful help in organizing everything so I could keep track of how to release it in flow without it being forced, but also not overwork myself, like you were
Okay.
saying.
Wow. Wow. How do you come up with these thrillers? Sometimes are you home and just like thinking, okay, what I'm going to do next? What movie should I make next? Or someone is helping you decide.
It's um the universe is these things come to me. So it's like Linda was the first thing I actually wrote and got out and made, but all the other films, it's either word of mouth or I get the audition and then I book the role. So it's I guess the energy I'm putting out, and then now I get to be a little bit more selective of what I choose.
Okay.
Um, so that yeah, that's I feel like the best answer I have for that.
All right, cool. I'm just going to name a few movies. I'm going to let you go. Just a few
Okay.
movies that you have done. I said Cults of Blood as Shirley, Strange Toys as Darla, Evil for Dinner as December, It's Alive as Chris, of course, Deadly Escape as Bianca, Death World, uh, is this Coyote Women?
Mm.
Why you say, uh-huh. Becky, of course, uh, and just a Gettysburg Christmas. Out of all of those films, which one was difficult? What was difficult for you at that time? Just starring in it, one of those films. What was difficult?
Um, like about any of the ones you just listed?
Yes,
Like what was
just those. Which one was the hardest to actually grasp as the character? A little difficult for you.
So the most difficult one wasn't listed, which is fine. That's great. But out of the ones that you said, it was probably Coyote Woman because it's a strange concept, and I actually got a lot of flack for it because people thought that I was impersonating a Native American, which that's not the story. The
Okay.
story is actually based upon like a woman who was kidnapped by Native Americans, Cynthia Ann
Okay.
Parker. So it was like a combination of the two. So kind of being able to prep for that and understand like Native American culture, understanding being taken and not that was probably out of
So
the ones you listed
difficult.
the most difficult. Yeah.
All right. Just last question. What personal growth have you experienced through your work, and how has it impacted you worldwide? I'm sorry, your world.
Oof. Okay, so okay, repeat it one more time. Let me
What personal growth have you
mm,
experienced through your work, and how has it impacted your worldview?
mm. I think it's got to be, I know we already talked about this, but compassion and I've learning not only playing all these other stories, but meeting people on set of all different walks of life. You have so many backgrounds and so many different personalities, and you maybe connect with someone you didn't think you would connect with, whether it be it's like, oh, this person's so much younger, so much older, or like they grew up here and like how did they're from freaking New Zealand, but now we're like best friends. It's one of those things where it's like how did God bring us together? And it's super, super cool. So I think I've learned a lot from not only from other people, other peers, and being able to travel through film as well and learn and soak in other cultures. It's very expansive, and I always advise people to, yeah, like talk to someone, like talk to your neighbor, talk to that person at the coffee shop, and then step one, and then step two, if you can travel and like learn about another culture and
Yeah.
see how other people live, like it's beautiful, it's expansive, and it's it
It's
truly
wonderful. Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Wow. Larissa Dali, I want to thank you for coming on to A Vision Entertainment. This was a great interview, and I wish you all the success.
Thank
Continue
you.
to work hard like you do.
I will. Thank
Is
you.
there anything you would like to say to your fans before we get off?
That I am so grateful. Thank you for going through this journey with me. There's ups and there's downs, and I appreciate that you appreciate my candor and my vulnerability. So thank you. And thank you for continuing your support. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Larissa Dali, and you're watching A Vision Entertainment.